Hi, and welcome back to the Ultimate Frontline Leadership Training Podcast. My name is Mike Quinn, and today we're going to talk about gossip, or what I like to call counting your resentment bank money. Now, if you haven't seen the video about resentment banks, go ahead and watch that now. It'll help you kind of understand what I'm going to be talking about today. But, okay, remember about resentment banks? Well, if not, please watch that video. But basically, resentment bank is how I see people react to getting harmed by holding on to the grievance because it was not handled correctly to remove it from storage. It's kept whole in your memory, just like putting your money in a bank. Now, most of us walk around with stored resentments of the ways that people or organizations have harmed us. And when people gossip about each other, or management, or customers, or whatever, that's what I see them doing is counting their resentment bank money. It's like when you check on your banking account statement online every day. You want to see how much money is there. Well, when people gossip, they're counting their resentments and making sure others agree with them, making their deposits more secure and possibly spreading this resentment to other people's banks. This is why stopping gossip whenever you hear or see it is important. So how do you stop resentment and how do you stop gossip at all in your workplace? I mean, that sounds like a pretty big order. Well, one thing not to do is don't try to be the Fed and reduce the interest rate on your own. Like commanding like, oh, that's just stupid. That's silly. Don't, and trying to discount their resentment. That resentment's theirs. They own it. And you can't just disown it by telling them so. As a matter of fact, if you try to do that, now you are on the other side of the table, and now they have a resentment against you, or they're not going to bring up their resentments to you because you've just shown a disinterest in their feelings, and they're not going to trust you with their feelings again. Now, sometimes people do make mountains out of molehills and exaggerate their effect, but this person also probably has a lot of resentments and is in the habit of memorizing infractions and holding on to them. Telling them they are stupid and shouldn't be making such a big deal about things will not work and actually make it worse. Think about talking with that person one-to-one and see if you can't make a few withdrawals. Make amends for any accounts you may have opened and tell them how valuable they are to the team and show a willingness to make things right. And then if you did something that is in their resentment bank, make sure you don't do that again. You'll also want to check out the video, Making Amends. This is how you can erase hard feelings against you and the process to do it completely so that those feelings actually are better and those resentments are gone for good. But anytime you hear someone gossip about someone or something at work, you need to find a way to get people to stop it so they don't spread and turn the work atmosphere toxic. Let everyone know you don't accept gossip at work because of what it does to the work environment. But also make note of the problem so you can deal with the appropriate person at the appropriate time. And maybe you can try to empty some of those resentments out of the bank and make that person a more productive and happy worker. And remember, if people are complaining about little things, that's probably because they've also complained about big things and those didn't get handled. And so they've got a bunch of resentments in their bank. And now they're just piling other stuff on top of it. And so we want to get to the root of the problem and not just solve the little problem, which will take care of that moment, but also go back to the employee later and talk with them. Say, how you doing? Is there anything I can help you with? We talked about, nobody was stocking straws earlier today and, we got that handled, but is there anything else going on with you? Is there anything else, I can help you with, etc. Once you've shown a willingness to help them with the minor issue of somebody, not stocking straws or not making tea or not changing the soda in the soda machine or whatever the deal is, even though it was a minor item at the time, it's probably a signal that there are some bigger things going on inside that bank, and you might want to address, cracking that open and removing some of that stuff so that you don't have a bigger breakdown later. And those breakdowns are going to come at you at the wrong time. They're going to come at you on a Friday night when it's really busy. All of a sudden, one of your employees is going to have a meltdown because the resentments that they were holding on to just got added onto and it just exploded all over into the day. And that's something you really don't want to do. And that's something that's easily preventable by paying attention to what your employees are talking about, how they're talking about it, and then breaking them down one-on-one and saying, hey, what can I help you with? What are we dealing with here? Maybe it's a personal problem. Maybe they're going through a divorce. Maybe it's just that they're tired of doing other people's jobs for them. Whatever the deal is, get to the bottom of it and work on them with it. And the fact that you help them with the minor issue shows them that you have a willingness to help them, and they'll open up to you, tell you what's going on, and usually then you can work on fixing things, and things will be much better later, and you'll have avoided a big meltdown on a busy Friday or Saturday night. All right, so that's what counting the resentment bank money is all about. People gossiping and stuff, and they're hanging on to resentments, or they're adding on to them, and they're voicing their frustration. So talk with your people about it. I mean, this is your work atmosphere. This is your culture, your company culture. And if people are always gossiping and complaining and stuff, that's your company culture, and you want to get away from that. You want people to be happy and look forward to coming to work, and having fun at work and enjoying each other's company and making friends and bonding. You want all that type of stuff to be happening. In the frontline industries, you make a lot of really good friends and you meet a lot of great people, and you want to continue that, and you want that to be your company culture. Not that nobody else does this and I'm always the one who has to do that and blah blah blah. You don't want that your company culture. You want everybody to say, hey Phil, how you doing? Oh great, yeah, you won the basketball game the other day, blah blah blah. You want that to be your company culture. So anyway, pay attention to your employees' resentment banks, and if people are gossiping, nip it in the bud, stop it right away, fix what you can fix, and then go back later and talk to the employee and figure out, how can you, remove some of the other resentments that are going on to make that person have a more happy and enjoyable work environment, and everybody's going to have a more happy and enjoyable working environment. All right, and that's it for today, and we'll see you next week.